South Africa is a country located at the southernmost tip of Africa and is home to many different ethno-linguistic groups, with most of the country speaking a Bantu language and the rest speaking an Indo-European language. Since the end of apartheid in 1994, South Africa has been on a journey of embracing more linguistic pluralism and thus has 12 official languages: Zulu, Xhosa, Afrikaans, Pedi, Tswana, English, Sotho, Venda, Tsonga, Ndebele, Swati, and South African Sign Language. These are not the only languages spoken in South Africa. There are also minority Bantu languages such as Siphuti, Batqa, and Klubi, as well as Indic and Dravidian languages spoken by Indian South Africans, Khoi, Kwadi, and Tu languages spoken by a few remaining Khoi and San communities, as well as other European languages like German. As one can see on this graph, not a single language in South Africa is spoken by a majority of the population as a native language. Now, one may think that this has problems. In reality, it really doesn't. English is the de facto national lingua franca, and most South Africans can speak more than one language. However, what if someone who is exceedingly lazy and doesn't want to learn another language wanted to simplify this whole situation, to combine our 11 spoken official languages into something new? The language of IsiMzansi has grammar that is fairly unusual. It has SVO word order and is highly synthetic, which is fairly normal for a language. However, the abnormalities start when looking at how words are formed in the language. Every word in IsiMzansi is made up of 2 root words, each root being taken from a different South African language. So, for example, the word for this lovely bird would be Gangana Harida. Now, the first root of any word will then change depending on the word's position in a sentence. So if it is the first word in the sentence, it'll remain the same as its dictionary form. If it's the second word, it'll change to something else, all following this order. The second root of any given word changes to convey different grammatical information. So, for example, the second root of nouns changes to fit whatever role that noun is playing in a sentence. They change according to this table. So the dictionary form of the second root will be subject, and then it can also change for being a locative, indirect object, direct object, etc., etc. The second root of verbs changes to convey tense, and there are 5 tenses in this language: remote past, recent past, present, near future, and remote future. And lastly, the second roots of modifiers change to match to the thing that they are modifying, and this applies to possessive adjectives, adverbs, and numerals. The last 2 bits of grammar worth mentioning are the tense marking system as well as the noun subject and object concords. So in this language, tense is not only marked by the second root of a verb changing to fit a particular tense. The verb will also gain the inflections for whatever particular tense for every single language represented within a particular independent clause. So if you have 5 languages, for example, then that verb will have 5 tense markings. The object and subject concords work similarly to how they do in Bantu languages like Xhosa and Zulu, with each of the arguments of the verb getting explicit markings on said verb. In IsiMzansi, the subject will have the 2 subject markings, subject prefixes, depending on the roots of the subject, and the same for the indirect and direct objects. And then also there will be the 2 subject prefixes for whichever particular 2 languages are represented in the verb, so you could have up to 4 different subject prefixes then two indirect ones, and then two direct object ones. Given that Southern Africa is home to the highest density of languages with click consonants like Xhosa, Zulu, Khoemana, Khoikhoi, and Kho, it only makes sense that this language's entire consonant inventory is clicks. The language specifically has 68 different clicks, which I will go through now. In addition to these clicks, there are 5 vowels: a, e, I, o, and u, and there's nothing special about these. They're just ordinary vowels. Considering that these words are made up of existing South African language words, how do they go from being one to the other? Well, there are many rules, but I will go through some of the most common ones. Voiceless plosives became voiceless clicks. Fricatives became velar fricatives. The palatal approximant became a voiceless palatal click. Existing clicks were carried over from the original languages. Nasals became nasal clicks. The glottal fricative became a glottal click. Affricates became velar affricate clicks. The velar plosive became a velar plosive click. And the voice lateral approximant became a voice lateral click. Oh wait, I just realized that in order to speak this language, one needs to know every single official South African language. I guess it fails at its own goal. Damn it.